Today, I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of consuming kefir every day. Kefir is kind of like a yogurt that we make at home. I'll explain more to you, but it's not yogurt. It's actually a different product. It's another type of probiotic, more potent, with many benefits. And when we consume it every day, we can get into a really interesting health routine. I'm going to tell you all the details here. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss it. If you love tips about nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. Take the opportunity to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I have new videos every day and you're going to love them. Let's start talking more about kefir. I'll begin with an interesting fact. The name kefir comes from a Turkish word, which I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly because I don't speak the language. It comes from the word kef, which means a feeling of well-being, of feeling good. It's been used for thousands of years by various populations around the world, and it's a natural fermented product. So from that, we can already see that you can make it at home and it's very easy to do. I'll explain how at the end for you, but you can make it at home just like you make yogurt. And it really does look a lot like yogurt. Once it's ready, it looks like those drinkable yogurts that come in bottles. It's not as thick, but it's wonderful. And it has a flavor very similar to yogurt, depending on how many hours you let it ferment. So you can use it in juices as a base for green juice, in smoothies, you can use it as a salad dressing, and the sky's the limit. And we can really add it to our daily routine. It's very versatile. So I'm going to tell you more about the benefits actually of adding kefir to your diet every day. There's no way to start this video about what happens if you eat kefir every day without talking about the benefits for the digestive system. Kefir, in fact, is nothing more than a colony of beneficial bacteria and yeasts for our body. So these are good, healthy microorganisms that will help colonize our entire digestive tract with these beneficial bacteria, with these good colonies. And it's very important that we have a higher proportion of beneficial bacteria than harmful ones in our body, in our stomach, in our intestines. So consuming more kefir will help you achieve better colonization. After all, compared to natural yogurt, which is also a probiotic, with yogurt you need to consume it every day to get the beneficial effects. And kefir is actually able to colonize. So you can leave a bit more time between doses of kefir, which is a very interesting fact. It is very helpful for people who suffer from constipation, diarrhea. In many cases, it really helps to regulate intestinal transit. And we know that a healthier gut is not only very important for intestinal issues like bowel movements and constipation. A healthier gut is very important for our body in a broader sense. It is very important for reducing systemic inflammation, improving our immunity, and enhancing intestinal permeability. What passes through there can cause allergies for us. And also, even for our good mood and well-being, because many of the neurotransmitters that we send to the brain are produced in our gut. That's why we say that when someone is constipated with their bowels backed up, they're in a bad mood, because their stool is stuck there. This is because intestinal transit is closely related to our sense of good mood and well-being as well. So kefir will help you by regulating your gut, impacting many areas of your life. In addition, some studies have already found that kefir can act on other parts of our body, our organism. There have been studies showing that consuming kefir daily helps control blood sugar. This is because kefir contains a low amount of carbohydrates and naturally it doesn't have lactose. The lactose, which is naturally present in milk, is gradually consumed by the kefir during the fermentation process, so it ends up not existing anymore in the final product. The kefir uses this lactose as an important energy source to multiply and to produce what we call kefir milk. So, kefir is naturally low in lactose, meaning it has fewer carbohydrates than a regular glass of milk, for example. And not only that, studies have already found that people who consume kefir tend to have lower fasting blood glucose and even lower glycated hemoglobin, which is that 3-month average blood sugar parameter, among those who regularly consume kefir daily. Saying that it's lactose-free is just a way of putting it, because it actually contains very little lactose, but of course that depends on how long you let it ferment. Because you can make kefir that ferments for 12 hours, 24, 36, even 72 hours. So the longer the kefir ferments, the more it consumes the lactose, and the less residual final lactose there will be. Remember that lactose intolerance can be very individual. Sometimes even small amounts of lactose can cause unpleasant symptoms in some people. And in that case, it might be better for you to use water kefir. I have a video where I talk more about it here, which is truly lactose-free. I'll leave the link down below in the description for you as well. Kefir can also be very interesting if you're looking to lose weight. It can take the place of yogurt and has few calories per serving. Actually, it will also depend on which type of milk you use to make the kefir, because you can make kefir with skim milk or with whole milk. So depending on the milk you use, it can have even fewer calories and it's low in carbohydrates and very filling. Some studies have even suggested that when you consume dairy sources, such as kefir, for example, which contains calcium and protein, this can actually help stimulate weight loss in some people. So it's a very healthy source of dairy, and it may be worth adding to your daily routine, especially if you're looking to lose weight. Kefir can also help control cholesterol levels in our bodies. It can help by improving how the body produces its own cholesterol in the liver. It can be beneficial in that regard, but also in how the body processes cholesterol and absorbs it from certain foods. So if you struggle with high cholesterol, adding more kefir might be a good idea for you. Remember that I have a playlist here on the channel with everything about high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and I'll leave it down below with lots of great tips for you as well. Kefir is also very interesting for our immunity. I've already told you that it helps reduce the bad bacteria in our gut, and that alone is very beneficial for certain types of bacterial infections you might end up having. But kefir also helps with viral infections, and beyond that, kefir also helps reduce systemic inflammation in our body. And for many people, excessive inflammation during a viral infection, or even a bacterial one, but usually more with viral infections, can be a problem for your body. Sometimes you fight off the infection, but end up with other secondary problems, or your body reacts in an overly aggressive way. I even have a video here on the channel talking more about kefir and immunity, a super powerful food for immunity, where we can even see a positive correlation with COVID. Because there have been some studies recently that have talked more about the regular consumption of kefir and COVID. So I'll leave that video down below in the description, because it's very complete if you want to know more about kefir and immunity. Kefir can also help you prevent osteoporosis and osteopenia because it is naturally a source of calcium. And whole milk kefir is also a source of vitamin K2, which is related to bone mass and the proper maintenance of bone mass. I also have a video here talking about other non-dairy sources of calcium that can help if you suffer from osteoporosis or osteopenia to complement your diet. And I'll leave that below in the description for you. So are you excited and want to start consuming kefir now? Many people ask me how to make kefir at home from scratch. You can't actually make kefir at home from scratch, just like you can't make yogurt at home from scratch. There's no way to take milk and turn it into yogurt without adding a starter culture. Normally, we use another yogurt to make homemade yogurt, or we buy those powdered starters and add them to the milk so it can ferment. And with kefir, it's the same thing. You need to have a kefir colony, which you can either buy or get from someone who gives it away. That's one of the cool things about kefir. It multiplies, it grows, it divides, it expands. So there comes a point when your strainer is almost completely full of kefir grains, and then you either throw them away, eat them, or give them to someone else. So you can look for kefir donation groups on Facebook, online groups. Just type in kefir donation and the name of your city, and maybe you'll find someone. But you can also buy it online, buy a kefir colony, and they'll send it to your house dehydrated, explain how to rehydrate it and how to use it, and it works really well. So you'll need milk and you'll need this colony to prepare it. I have a video here showing the step-by-step process, me making kefir, explaining the differences in fermentation, different times, different flavors, consistencies. I'll leave it down below in the description because it's really good. If I may say so myself, it's very complete and can really help you if you're starting from scratch. So, where can you use kefir? I actually have a playlist here on the channel about kefir with some kefir recipes there. You can check it out and get inspired. Think of kefir the same way you would think of yogurt. Wherever you would use yogurt, you can use kefir because they're very similar in terms of taste and even consistency. The only caveat I would mention is that, for example, sometimes I make a yogurt cake and people ask me if they can use kefir instead. You can, but whenever you heat a probiotic to high temperatures, you end up killing the microorganisms. Because it's a living microorganism, so if you put it in the oven or in a pan, you're basically frying the probiotic, baking it, and you'll lose its probiotic properties. But you still get the benefits of calcium, protein, and low carbohydrates. So if you have a lot of kefir left over, sometimes you make it and it keeps multiplying. If you have 4 cups of kefir, use it. It's better than throwing it away, of course. But if you can use it at a low temperature, at room temperature or chilled, to keep the microorganisms alive, it will be better for you, so you get all the benefits of kefir. Remember to take a look down here, and also at the video, I'm going to leave about the 7 best probiotics. Kefir is included there, but there are 6 others as well. I'll leave it down here for you so you can get inspired and add more of these foods that are so important for our health to your diet. Tell me if you already use kefir, how often, and how many hours you let it ferment. I would love to see your comment. Give the video a like, because that really helps me. And share it with someone who will enjoy it, with someone who needs it. Let's work together to expand this chain of good, because that's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.